Recording has begun. Day number 3. Episode number something. I don't know. It's probably like 8 or 9. So yesterday was easier than day 1. Day 1, Cassandra was a real jerk. We got two kidnappings, and it was just a rough day on the rim to start this colony. We were on the back foot almost always. Peg legs are the pinnacle of transhumanism. We did have one big problem yesterday. So yesterday we got a lot of animal attacks. I don't know what it was, but yesterday was the day that Cassandra was like, you know what? First day, I didn't send any manhunter packs. How about I just send manhunter packs all day long? And so Cassandra did that. But the really big things that happened yesterday on this is that we had an off-map problem causer that we had to go take care of, and it was manned by pirates, which is the worst kind. We went there, we killed the pirates. We had 2 people get infected. One of the people that were infected, when we got back, they entered the map down here, which is one of the downsides of a big map. So they came in, and he was having a breakdown, and he had an infection, so I had to arrest him to try to get him to a bed to heal him in time. I guess I could have probably draft tended him during it. I know you can do that, but I was still worried about the tending quality. And so we picked up J-Mac to arrest him. We were taking him up here, and about right here, the person that was arresting him had a breakdown, dropped J-Mac. Since J-Mac was considered a prisoner, he literally just walked off the map and we couldn't get to him in time. So we lost a colonist yesterday that just walked off the map. Like he just left. So we might see him again someday. He'll probably be an enemy. Really sucks, but so it goes. At the end of stream, we got this, which is kind of interesting. This is actually a pretty fearsome cluster for this stage of the game for our wealth. However, it's so tightly packed, it's so condensed. I've never seen so much death condensed in a cluster this way. So there are 5 centipedes, 3 scythers, a pikeman, and there are 3 drop beacons, 4 mech nodes. This is a really condensed, and there is a low shield, high shield. This is kind of crazy. When the high shield goes down on cooldown in 2.2 days, we're going to try to hit this with a mortar. If we hit a mortar anywhere in here, this entire cluster is just going to blow up. I think the mech nodes, if I remember, let's see, a self-power mech node. Mech nodes can be deconstructed yield. Yeah, that's what I figured. The mech nodes, from what I understand, is just something that you can reclaim for parts, pretty much. So your mortar can pop those cells. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, how's it going for skill? Merc, Sandakir, Cats, Havoc, Bug it, welcome in. There is no auto mortar. If you see a big building like this, the big building clusters will never have an auto mortar. So that's one of the first things I look for is when I click to go to a mech cluster. If I see this building, I'm like, all right, no auto mortar. We're all right. Expands. So we're gonna wait on that cooldown. For anyone that doesn't know, not long after royalty, they added a recharge period on high shields. It didn't exist when royalty first came out. But in 2.2 days, this is going to recharge for a day, meaning that we can hit it with mortars without having to have EMP. And then it'll come back up 24 hours later, and then it will go down in 10 more days. But hopefully we destroy it during that. Bugga. Is it Bugga or Bugga, by the way? Thank you for using the Twitch Prime here. Cast name is a tier 1. I appreciate the support. You've never seen a mech cluster with shields? Yeah, they're annoying. This has a high shield and a low shield. So the low shields... Oh, wait, the high shield is on a 4.3. These are on different ones. The low shield absorbs bullets and ground-based fire. The high shield absorbs mortars and recently it has been changed to also absorb things like salvo and stuff from the Empire. So it could be easier if we had Eclair here to snipe it. Yeah. Yeah. But we don't. So anyway, we'll have to deal with that in about 4 days. Unless something else comes in before then, like if there's a pirate raid or something, maybe we'll wake it up. So the other thing that happened is we got to 81,000 wealth, and the reason why that's important is 81,000 wealth is a wealth breakpoint for expectations. So at oh yeah, we need the analyzer. So at 81,000 we hit moderate expectations, and at moderate expectations the transhumanists start being very needy. Do you need something? Sure. Speaking of being needy, no, I'm just kidding. It does not have a proximity activator, just a timer. Curly skill pause named Sacrifice. Go all Battle of Helm's Deep on that. That's true. That's true. And I might actually do that soon. So, we'll see. We might do one of those rituals. You think what it was called?
Welcome.
Yeah, no worries.
Your steadfast loyalty
Raymond.
is greatly appreciated.
Raymond, thank you for the resub. Thank you for coming back. That's one big thing too, is I never know. Like when someone subscribes or uses Twitch Prime or something, it's awesome. I very much appreciate it, but I never know if the person's gonna come back the next month to do it. So thank you for doing that again. Let's see what else we're gonna just knock out. Let's just knock out some stuff here. Why don't you get moisture pumps? That's right. Yeah, about that. See on the sofa? That was my daughter. Was beating to the pool noodle? No, my daughter came in and was just staring at me, waiting for me to acknowledge her. Wasn't saying anything. She was just standing there staring at me. She was asking if she could have some gum. Sure, the grenade could blow up the cells. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is that that's exactly what I was thinking. Is that we do what do these? That one, and if we get an auto join that's bad, we sacrifice them to get the cluster. So, all right. All right. Feeling all right with this. So what's going on with Misfortune? Neural Supercharge. Plus they're using the Tainted Recon Armor. It's a -8. At this point, I might want to take that off of Misfortune. And just have them equip something else. Let's see. Yeah, let's get a flak vest going here. That on Juliet. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's see, we got 248 steel, but we lost all of our components yesterday. That's right. So, do we have anyone else that doesn't care about tainted gear, or someone that's just happier in general? Let's see. Well, we have a cannibal. Cannibal's eating human meat, so they got a +15. So I think I'm gonna put it on them. Misfortune. Hey, you drop that. There we go. How do we lose all the components? So we had someone that had a breakdown, and they went to punch the components. They were already right by it as soon as they had the breakdown. I tried to arrest them, but all of our prison beds were full, and before I get a prison bed or prison spot down due to no pause, they had already punched and broke all the components. So some sort of ritual you could do before combat, improve your stats for 24 hours or something. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, yeah. You like the green fence pattern? Place the blame where it belongs. Who was it? I don't remember. I don't remember who broke them. It always feels like components are advanced components. Yeah, I would have been happier with them breaking the advanced components, honestly. It was Fathom that did it? Thank you. Couldn't remember. Fathom. Fathom. So one of our big goals today is get to fabrication. If we get to fabrication, it'll feel real nice. When's the last time Cassandra... Okay, all right. It's finally time to do this. Here we go. So wait until the rain's over so they don't get the wet debuff. Yeah, they like to... It seems like there's a couple of things that play into it, but they definitely seem like they like targeting high-value things. High-value things and proximity seem to be the two most important. So components and advanced components, especially early on, tend to be your most valuable assets, especially when they're stacked thick like that. Just down on areas of this bow tie. Mod wife's ear reveal. Oh no, her ear was on it. That clip, I sounded and looked different. How long ago? Well, I don't know. That's clip's like 4 years ago or something, maybe longer. Current colony wealth are about 85,000, I think. 90,000. Let's go, Andy. Hashtag welcome in. 86 activates. TO, welcome in. So back then, I was a lot less comfortable streaming, I guess. I was more, I don't know, self-conscious or something. And the camera was really bad, and the lighting was really bad, and everything was just bad. I don't know why anyone continued to hang out of the channel back then. Looking at those clips, a lot of times I'm like, what was I doing? Why did anyone become a regular back then? How do you get the inventory display as drop down? This one? Oh, no worries. You can ask whatever you want. Why isn't under the speed menu, there's a button here called categorize mode. You can do that to expand it or to minimize it. Introverted. It's kind of well, I'm an extroverted introvert, you know? So it's like I make lots of friends in real life. Like in high school, I was friends with literally everyone. Didn't matter what clique or whatever they were in. So I was like friends with everyone. But even though I'm that way, it's like exhausting. So an extroverted introvert. I like being by myself and I like doing things on my own and, you know, being out alone and stuff. But, you know, I like making friends and talking to people and learning new things and whatnot. So it's like, that's just called normal. Yeah, pretty much. But it's like I need that recharge after that. Same as you. Got a blue wing. Yeah, welcome in. An extroverted introvert. Extroverted until I'm like so stressed and tired that I need some recharge. Streamer is normal, unsub. A couple weeks ago, and you're probably your favorite streamer YouTube. That's awesome, Destruction. Yeah, thank you for saying that. There's so many people. There's so many streams out, so that means a lot. Oh, these are the guys we called in, I think, right? No, they're not. This is separate. Your wife's super introverted, mine too. Yeah, she is very. My wife does not like being around anyone pretty much other than me and my daughter. She has panic disorder, so she has lots of panic attacks and things like that. And overwhelming sensory type things or social type things can trigger it. So my wife is very, very introverted. Hate being around people at all. That's how my wife is, yeah. Friendly, but it takes a lot of extra energy. Yeah, so it's not like one of those extremely outgoing people, but try to get there and it's exhausting. We already did the Architect. Yeah, we did that one. We finished that one 3 days ago. So the Architect ending we finished. I won't spoil it, but that finished 4 days ago, maybe now, actually. Yeah, I think 4 streams ago we finished the Architect ending. So this is a different playthrough. Rewarded bloodshed. Well, well, well. You and your missus are basically the same. That wife clip is really old. Which one is it? Is it the one with me talking about the Halloween movie or whatever? 30 components. Oh, components. Components. Sell all the things. Oh, is that naked guy my wife? Oh, that one. Oh man, that is really old. Yeah, that's like 4.5 years old or something. Maybe 5. That is an old clip. Yeah, I didn't know which one that was. Components. ABC. Always. Oh crap. Always buy components. I don't know why I made like a gasping sound like that was something really bad. Oh no. I'm getting too much money. Like that. What a problem to have. Oh no, I'm making too much money from this trader. Whatever will we do? All these extra funds. I don't know. Where did bloodshed? This is a breach. Caravan's being hunted near 1 by pirates. I want you to signal pirates to draw them from the caravan towards you. This is a breach raid. I'm not going to take it. I don't want to deal with another breach. You know what's the most annoying about a breach? I don't think we've actually lost to a breach. I don't think we've lost to a single breach in 1.3 or ideology, but they're just annoying. They're so annoying. In early game, they are very deadly, but once you get the means to go out and deal with them, mainly sidecasting and ranged weapons and, you know, shooting specialist and combat command and all that kind of stuff, they're usually pretty straightforward to deal with. It's just they're so annoying. Masterwork sandstone bed. Unbox the Ancient Danger. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just worried. I got to keep an eye on this. So we only have a little bit of a window to do this. Yeah, exactly. Rebuilding all the walls and crap. And if you had something near the wall, like I've even been thinking, like, as much as it's crazy, when I was putting this here, I was like, maybe I should put this one out from the wall, because if breaches come through and they hit this wall, they end up blowing all this crap up too. Maybe I should put things inward a little bit in the room, but that would look god awful. Raid yet? Only just started playing the new DLC and update last week. What is a breach raid? So breach raids are 3 different types. There are mech types, there are pirates, and there are tribals. Breaches basically just destroy their way. They don't care about turrets or anything like that. They just destroy their way from where they are. We think what they're trying to do is get to a sleeping spot, or based on testing, it seems like a sleeping spot or a bed. So they will just blow through anything. We had a termite, which is the mech breach, go through like 35 tiles of mountain. Not stone, like not refined, not smooth, not player owned, just literally mountain to get to the back of our base. They're just so annoying. They break through everything. The really big thing is that they're so common right now. They're so common. It feels like every other raid is a breach raid. But they just cause a lot of mess. So for example, the termite, it's slow moving. It has decent range. It shoots every 4 seconds, and every single hit that it does destroys 3 walls in a single hit. Unless the wall is plasteel, any other wall, doesn't matter HP, it destroys it in a single hit. And so they just crazy. Wake up the mechs now? I don't think so. These guys are not going to kill them, and I don't want the wealth from the traders. So we're gonna wait on the high shield. Do they just beeline? Sometimes, like, it's weird. It seems like their AI is a little bit broken. In fact, the developers in the developer Discord have commented on it, that they have some fixes for the weird AI behavior that are working internally, and they'll put them out to everyone when they're fine-tuned or something. So they seem to not be working as intended. Yeah, the termite tunnel through an entire mountain. It was nuts. Yeah. Ended up with a really cool new entrance though. Just make a group with both regular and breach squads. So there's 2 things I think about breaches that would make them better. 2 things that I think would make them better. 1, if you destroy the breaching enemies themselves, I feel like the rest of the raid should act normally. Should be rewarded for going out and finding the actual breachers and then retreating. That would be interesting. And it would make it so like the pirate ones would be hard to do because there's like 10 people throwing grenades. The tribal one would be hard to do because there's maybe like 15 with breach axes in the late game. Termites, in the late game on this difficulty, there's about 4 termites. But what's weird is when you kill the breachers, like the termites, the other ones, they just attack walls. They just attack walls in that straight line. You will have like lancers just sit out there and hit a wall forever, or until it's dead or destroyed, whatever. The second thing is, I think they should be way less common. It seems like it should be a one-off thing, but they are all the friggin' time. Like, in the last playthrough we did, the Arco Nexus one, I'm willing to bet that breach raids were probably like 80% or more of our major events. Like 80% or more, like every single raid was a breach raid. It's like, oh, wow. Oh, I don't think we had a mech raid that wasn't a breach, honestly. Every time I saw a mech raid, I'd click it, immediately saw the termites. Like, oh. Breach raids to be like 1 in 30. Yeah, like 1 or 2 breach raids a year or something on average. Just to make sure, like, you know, you have your guard up and you have to go take care of them differently. You can't just lure them into the kill box, whatever, it's fine. But every single one? May it's cost 100%? I don't know. A lot of people have been saying breach raids are very common for them as well. When are we gonna start pushing wealth? So we're basically working on research. I can't really start pushing wealth until we can make our own components. So what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for this high shield to go down. When this high shield goes down, we will fight the mechs in 2.4 days. Today, now that it's sunny, we're gonna open these caskets and see what we get from there. We should get gold from this, and that will allow us to make our multi-analyzer and allow us to research fabrication. Is there a mod to disable breachers? Probably, yeah. I haven't looked, but I would bet there is. Sometimes the Scythers don't attack the wall and just patrol. Yeah, sometimes the whole breach raid screws up and they just go chill out on the map somewhere. We've even seen like tribal breaches just go patrol an area until they start starving to death. It's like, what is going on with this AI? But love to get like one normal raid every 45 raids. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want all the wealth that these would drop, and those guys would not defeat this at all. Especially the two Inferno Cannons, speaking of. And we don't have a lot of components. We just bought 30, actually, so... Hate to use these, but I would hate for someone to burn to death even more. It's time after certain well, except for Manhunter packs. Everything else is just breach. Yeah, it's just breach all the friggin' time. Like, the kill tunnel is still useful for pulling things like the mech clusters, which we still get a lot of as well. Like you said, with Manhunters, with sieges are still going to get pulled through. But it seems like every normal raid is a breach now. It's so uncommon for us to get. Occasionally we'll get a sapper, but it's like, all right, breach lights. Like the opponent literally disappeared. He's on your top menu, but went invisible when he had a tantrum. Oh, I've never had that happen, Zidian. Yeah, do you have a previous save you can go to or anything? Yeah, I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is they're in the developer. You're on permadeath. And if you go into developer tools, we've had to do this to fix some other bugs. There's an option to kill someone, and then there's an option to resurrect. I don't know if that would fix it, but you could maybe try that if you have no other options. All right. Before that, though, the first thing I would say is verify your game files. If you haven't already, go into into Steam, right-click on RimWorld, go to Manage, verify integrity of game files. What that'll do is it'll scan through and try to find if there's any like corrupted files or anything different than it should be, and it'll automatically replace them on your next load up. You could try that. If that doesn't fix it, you can try the developer menu thing and kill the pawn. Click kill them, and then click resurrect and resurrect their body. That's the only other thing. I had to do that because the pawn got stuck once. They would not move. They were completely stuck. Nothing could unbudge them, and they were starving to death, just standing there. And I ended up having to use developer tools to kill and resurrect, and it fixed it. We do have water skip, but they could also get set on fire, yeah. What's going on? Arrested, welcome in. Golden Spirit, welcome in. Doing all right. We're just waiting on this cluster here. I think I'm going to go ahead and hit that while we're waiting. I don't know which one I want to do first. Keep going back and forth. You know what? The Ancient Danger will be there. We're just going to do this instead. Let's do another tier 1 on someone because I would really like to get Word of Trust so we can get those recruits much easier. All right. Gerbil, begin the linkening. We're not doing Wealth Independent mode anymore on this Cassandra run. I will do that in the future, but we looked at it, and some people that mod the game and stuff looked at what the threat scale does with Cassandra at 500% and 12 years. Long story short, because 500%, how it works with the scaling of Wealth Independent mode, you get maximum difficulty raids basically early into year 2. By 2.4, you have maximum raid points. So that means at the beginning of year 2, we could get hit by 50 centipedes per raider group. By day 35, we were getting hit by anywhere from like 30 to 40 pirates with doomsday rockets. So really the only way to survive that without mods with Cassandra, because she's going to hit you. With Randy, we've done it. With Randy, we did it because we were able to get ahead because he gave us a break early on. But the only way to do it with Cassandra would be to caravan out and go Ancient Danger diving for loot, for weapons, for armor and stuff to get ahead of that curve for 2 years. And I didn't really want to do that sort of playthrough, especially with Transhumanist. I think I'm going to come back to that with some min-max memes and try it. But for this one, I want to do just a high wealth Transhumanist colony, which hopefully we'll be able to get to soon. Pain block is not what we wanted at all. I don't know. But yeah, she was getting to max raids at 2.4 years, which is insane. 10,000 raid points. All right. We really want to recruit. Which one is it? This one. This is exactly what we've been looking for. Burning passion, mining, and construction. Very neurotic, fast learner. We really need this prisoner. Oh, she has a brain scar from us. Oh no. Well, we'll have the bio sculptor at least, so. I shouldn't have done the joy fuzz when I saw that her consciousness was low because of the brain scar. That's unfortunate. That's one of the ones that we really, really want. This guy's also really good. He's going to probably join pretty soon. Done any adjustments to your mic sound setup? Are you talking about where people were talking about the, whatever, the static sound or whatever fairly hard? It looks like we fixed it. Yeah, there were several things. I don't know which one fixed it, but it seems to be fixed. House sculpture takes so much power. Yeah, we're going to need one for everyone. Unfortunate. Yeah, I could make another mortar. I was actually thinking about that before the stream. We bought 30, right? So, yeah, I might as well. It's alt +5. Something off like peaking muffled sound on my voice. No, I haven't changed anything in that regard at all. Does anyone else notice anything weird about the sound today? No, the mixer settings are all the same. Never bring up that clip again. Wait, which clip is that? Hey, we found components. Sounds fine. Sounds fine. Those jade fences that one room? Yes. Sidecast speed is actually the same thing as shooting speed? Yes. Yep. So sidecasting would trigger happy. Trigger happy does sidecasting faster, yeah. Point of the jade fence is beauty. Beauty for little material. Exhalation fence is a short clip that explains it more or further, but long story short, it's beauty for very little material. I'm talking to some sort of foreign language. So a lot of people are having audio issues with low latency Twitch settings lately. So if you have low latency, you might want to. Yeah, it's for min maxing. Yep. Clip of the Rakes is aiming it. It's giving a hard time. Oh, I got you. I got you. Opponents detected. All right. Let's see how far away that is. It's across the river and through the woods. Yeah, it only takes 1 resource instead of 5, but you get 100% of the beauty value. So you still get the 10 beauty for... So it's 10 beauty for 1 jade if it's a fence, as opposed to 10 beauty for 5 jade if it's a wall. Alright, I'm going to actually do the ceremony, like I said. Because if we get an auto join that's terrible, I'll just have them go take care of the cluster. This R squared animal will get sacrificed. You met someone. Multi-R. Congratulations. It's scary. Win Lux. Vel Bu. Hank. Pesky Phoenix. Griffin Hart. Thank you guys for being here. We don't have far skip yet. Boring. Yeah, we actually don't have far skip in this one yet. We get a -1. -1. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wait on this. 14 hours. 14 hours. Scary. What's the best kind of scary? Good way to put it. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, sidecasting speed is based on shooting. So if you have a trigger happy pawn, they actually are able to throw out their sidecast faster, which is pretty cool. Pretty nice. So if you got a really good sidecaster with like Berserk or something, they're also a trigger happy pawn. Bam, bam, bam. Chunk, water, vomit, regular. So far. Water skips? No. They ended up getting a Berserk Pulse. Or Berserk and Berserk Pulse. Which is nice. You know what? We actually do need to keep getting that cloth. Yeah, I'm gonna replant those. How are we doing here? Oh, it's time. It's go time. Man, they're gonna be on top of us like right away. No, Orn, you're too... Wait. You're too good for this. We have a pretty good problem here where everyone is a pretty good shot. That's a good problem to have. All right. We just need to hit one of those power cells and we'll be in good shape. So who is this? Ninja Kiwi and Hermit Jordan. Hermit Ninja. There we go. Let's see it. What? Come back! Watch the explosion! Nice. Alright, I think they heard that one. It almost destroyed the weather controller. Fuck 'em. I think they heard that one, guys. Sure doesn't have a helmet. It's crazy how low our damage output is compared to the last run. Like, that went pretty well, but compare that to the Tunnel of Darkness run. Crazy. Crazy difference. See, we got the one turret left. All right, let's let people heal up a little bit. Yeah, that went pretty well overall. Water skip, we used it. Is everyone shooting? Like their skill? Their skills are actually pretty good. 12, 9, 11, 13, 13. I gotta remember there's fog too though. 13, 11, 7, 10, 6. Everyone's shooting is really good. We have decent weapons too. We even have some of the legendary SMG, but the fog was also impacting it. Gotta remember that. All right, we do need to go take that out, so the fog isn't gonna screw us up any further. Might. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pop that and leave this one. All right. Fathom. Fathom, do we have something longish range for you? There we go. Let's go, Fathom. More traps. With the mechs, they just... Wooden traps, they'll just barrel through them. I think there's like 4 or 5 wooden traps to take out a single Scyther or Lancer. Eventually, we'll get to the point where we're able to use lots of steel traps. Stone traps take a lot of construction time to set up. All right, there's a low shield. I forgot it. Gone. Hey, you welcome in. Midnight Toker, welcome in. J-Mac. J-Mac, your character walked off the map yesterday. You're still alive, presumably. Let's go on, Ken. Welcome in. Ice Team. Difference. Welcome back. Can you actually hit that? I doubt it. What? He's shooting right around that wall and it can't hit us? That's pretty awesome. You saw that? Yeah, that sucked. Fathom's a pro. Oh, we're gonna get a shield pack out of that to make a low shield. That's gonna be real juicy. We're wanting now, bending the bullet trajectory. Just swing your arm with the assault rifle. Trust me. Angelina Jolie showed me. The bending bullets, yeah. All right, nice. Nice. Also, we have learned something regarding the shrine. I will show you guys in a little bit here. Turns out you don't need an impressive shrine. Well, kind of not. This is the way. Just bobble. Bullet benders. Missed that episode of Avatar. Okay, next step is when we have a sunny day, we're gonna go pop open those cryo caskets. Dublin or guns at the side of the construction, not the middle. Yes, yeah. He had line of sight of the edge of it because they actually fill up 4 tiles. So, are there any deaths or only kidnappings? Only kidnappings so far. Yeah, we have 2 kidnappings, and then yesterday we had someone walk off the map. So whatever you want to call that. But yeah, no actual deaths so far. Right? Right. Wait. Right. Yeah, no actual deaths. Come from YouTube, you're only here to tell you that you're the best RimWorld player out there. Well, thank you, AU Bus. I appreciate it. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you. Oh, did I? My bad. What? No, I got it. It's in work. Yeah, no worries. It was worth checking either way, so. Better safe than sorry. Some of our mottos: better safe than sorry. Better overkill than underkill. That's what I should put on a t-shirt. Better overkill than underkill. That's what I always say. How can I forget about sacrifice? Yeah, we did lose sacrifice. That's true. All right. Make low shield pack. Do forever. Low shield packs are so good. So absolutely insanely good. It's unreal. Against breaches, against everything. Low shield packs are amazing. There's a mod for that, as always. We will always remember sacrifice. Which one? Which sacrifice? No, it's fine. To remove the notification to choose the next research. I don't think so. I don't remember. Used to, if you didn't have any research benches, it wouldn't tell you that you needed a new research project. But I don't know if that's still the same or not. Redeem themselves in the short space between redeeming and death. We did have someone, I don't remember which playthrough that was. We had someone that we were sacrificing and they went and meleeed like 3 animals in a row to death. They went and killed like 3 in a row. It's like, there's a mod for that too. Can you shoot out of a low shield pack? Yes, you can shoot out, but bullets cannot come in, including rockets. So that's why it's so strong. It's better than skip shields. Was it we remember sacrifice, or we will remember to sacrifice? Yeah. Was that the Arctic Nexus run where that happened? Remember. If it will stop raining, we'll go pop open these caskets. Packs have health, or is it on timer? It's timer, yeah. Low shield's the only one-way shield you can get. Yeah, it's really awesome. It's really good. It doesn't last a whole long time, but usually in that time you can route the enemies, or depending on what they are, obviously, but, or down like the important mechs. Where's that other Guarlin sprout? Got one spawn somewhere else. I mean, I don't care about it too much, I suppose, but... A trade request. 2 heavy SMGs. Are you amazing, Horn? Pessimist. Why you gotta be pessimist? I would probably take you if you weren't a pessimist. Just be positive. Be positive. Man, why couldn't have you had the brain damage instead of him? Did we open that, right? Yeah. Be positive, Mr. Sacrifice. The pirate yesterday ate one of the triple rockets. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's one of the things that make pirate raids tough, is when they drop those when they drop the low shield, like right here, it's like, oh no. Can enslave prisoners? That's part of ideology, yep. Yep. Whoops. Yeah, you can roost their will and then enslave them. Part of ideology. That's right. Why couldn't you have brain damage instead of M? Anything else you want to bang out here? Yeah, screw it. We'll just grab some stuff. Why not? Maybe make some corsets for some money later. How long do we have? Yeah, I might... It does have the gold reward. 2 SMGs, so it might be worth it depending on what we find in here. I'm just waiting for the rain to stop because I don't want them to be moody about being wet. And do I have neural supercharged yet? No, that's what we're going to be working on today, hopefully. Hopefully. How many subscribers are we up to? Oh my god, it's unreal. We're at 1,850 subscribers. It is really unreal. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I never thought we'd hit 800. We got the 700 emote like 3.5 years ago. 3.5 years ago, we got the 700 emotes. And now we're at 1,850. It's really unbelievable. It's friggin' insane. I don't think it'll last. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just trying to be realistic about it. I know it's not going to stay at that level. I couldn't believe when it got to 1,000. That was like I was dreaming. And now it's at 1,850, which is just unreal. It's just unreal. Juliet, thank you, Nova Steel. Iceman, thank you. Anima linking again. Come on, word of trust. Thank you. I looked at it last night and I was like, I showed my wife. It's like, look at this. And it was like, it's AC 150, right? Frozen Tuna, thank you for using the Twitch Prime here. I appreciate Frozen Tuna. It helps out a lot. It really does. I was so worried about quitting that, closing down the business, but, and like I said, I don't know if this is going to stay. Hey, we got solar pinhole. That's usable at least. But, yeah, it's definitely covered the business side of expenses for this month at least. Or income, I should say. So they all say in their last, I don't know. 851, yeah. Thank you, Destruction. Finished the Arco Nexus playthrough? I did, yeah. I finished the Arco Nexus, I think it was about 4 streams ago. About 4 streams ago, we finished that one. So if you want to look at the VOD, it's from about 4 streams back. Or you can wait on it to go up on YouTube. It's going to be a little while, though. So solar pinhole creates a little area of light that lasts for 5 days. It produces a little bit of heat, too. But I like using it so they don't get the darkness debuff. So I'm just going to throw these around the places that they're more likely to walk around. There we go. Hope I at least keep it steady 1,000. That would be incredible, yeah. Don't be pessimistic, be positive, remember? Just 2 small critters of the tree. So these are dryads. We're actually not bonding with them. So normally you bond with the dryads and you choose which class they are. We're not doing that because we don't want anyone spending all their time grooming the tree or pruning the tree rather. So the reason why we have them is this moss is considered really pretty. And so we want them to be in a beautiful environment while they are meditating at the Anima tree. So that's why we're just literally using them for their beauty. Does it also mean crops grow faster when the sun is rising? I don't think so. But yeah, I've never tested it, so I don't know 100%. Are they good to eat? You can eat them. Yeah, you can kill them and eat them. YouTube content? Yeah, absolutely go above 2,000. Keep going. Yeah, maybe Woozy. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself though, but glad you are confident. Does moss count as nutrition for pinned animals? I don't know. Yeah, I never checked that. It's interesting. Sunrise time is so short, it probably doesn't matter either way. Feels great for tree hugging trials. Torches are wood expensive. Using them for beauty, how shallow. Being pessimistic makes you to a sacrifice or incapable of joining the colony. Got a point. All right. We need some more blocks here. Expand our walls. Okay. You know what? With solar pinhole, we don't have to worry about daytime to pop that. Just using chat for your beauty. Imagery hate having buildings only up to minus 30%. Stacks to a minus 30% psi focus gain and minus 30% grass growth gain, but that's a good trade-off, I feel, for protecting the people that are meditating and protecting the tree. The dryads are not very good tanks. They have good armor, but they only have 100 HP still. So especially in mid to late game, they're not that great for it. I think they need a buff. The claws actually have more DPS than a Thrumbo, but they're like paper. They just die. The bark skin ones or whatever, the tank ones, we tested them. They also die too quick, even with their armor, because they only have 100 HP. So it's not really worth the pruning time at the moment. The best one seems to be the hauler, but then again, why not just have some animals haul that can also fight, like dogs? Obviously, the dogs will give wealth. These guys don't. Dogs eat. These guys don't. But still, you can have more of them for less work time, and they can do other stuff. I don't know. Dryads are kind of a novel idea, but it seems like they need a little bit of a buff across the board. Yeah, so my idea was right now the 7th class or cast rather of dryads they form together to make a tree. When you get 4 of them with the tree lover people, they'll join and they'll make a new tree basically. So it would be nice if that applied to the other ones as well. Like if you get 4 tank ones, they combine and they make some kind of Thrumbo-esque or tank-wise unit, like a single one. They combine into one. That would be awesome. That would, yeah, like the clawers. Get 4 of them and it's basically a Thrumbo. That would be awesome. But right now it's like, oh, they're made of paper. Sure, don't seem that great either. It's true. Put out fires? Yeah, that's nice, yeah. Even the baby ones here put out fires. We don't have to do anything. So these ones are actually putting out fires. I was actually thinking about putting some of these trees around here so they can put out fires while we're fighting. Yeah, or have them scale in power with pruning percent or something. You get 4 and Tom Bombadil appears. Tom Bombadil doesn't get involved with mortal squabbles. We might as well wait to open that until after the next Cassandra event now. You see, she's going to attack soon. Got 5 Cs. The ones that combine to form a new tree are really useless too. Mechs are mortal. You get like 4 hauling to get like extra moves or something. Yeah. What's the point of drop on wealth? So this is when we had to go off map. We had an off map problem causer yesterday, which was a psychic suppressor for males. And I sent everyone aside from one person to go fight because there was pirates. It's 3, not 4. They can do tree. Thank you. Was it 4 on release? Either way, thank you. Come on, Cassandra, what are you hitting us with? I gotta know. Gotta know. Can you show me? Uh-oh. Yesterday, Mulan was here. Today, Phil Collins. I mean, Tarzan. So things on Caravan aren't yours anymore. They're still yours, but so how wealth works is each map is independent. So it has its own wealth and everything. So the Caravan counts that same sort of way. So the Caravan is its own wealth entity. If you have multiple colonies, each of those colonies are their own wealth entity. It doesn't add into a whole. Can't believe M has that brain damage. It's in 3, so it's 3 instead of 4. Thank you. If you have 2 bases, you have it to 5 bases yet. Pirate raid, what sort? Multiple angles for a while. Hey, a normal raid? What? Pirate raid that's not a breach raid? Impossible. Any low shield packs there? No low shield packs. How many is that? 11. Lots of melee. Ooh. 21, 29, almost, is that all melee? That's all melee. That's all melee. This is all melee aside from one guy with a chain shotgun. This must be that rare regular raid they added, yeah. $11, 10, 8, sorry. Slate meteorite, okay. All melee, except for one shotgun. To leave only one person in the colony while caravanning, while the raid be significantly smaller. The raids will be significantly smaller, yeah. So one of the main things that drives raid points is colony size, colonist count. So having only one left behind, you'll notice that if you play Naked Brutality and stay on one character for a long time, you can even get up to like 50, 70, 80,000 wealth, and raids are still relatively small on 500%. So yeah, having the single colonist there, it is risky, but against Cassandra, it isn't as risky because I waited to leave until after she had done 2 close together events. So we knew she couldn't attack us again for about 6 days. Camera plus. Hit Fleeb. It's just a waste with that so few, so. Fleeb is the boss of Lottie's shotguns. Yes, I guess so. Joe, you remember explaining quote 903? Where was it? Do you want to slash one? Melee pirate squad. Fuego, welcome in. Boldor, welcome in. The only apparent ways of getting recreation besides just quiet time or whatever is drugs now. But yeah, alright, later on the cluster of sleeping pods. So 903. Could you imagine a supervillain with that exact power? Teleporting around, you naked, putting different body parts in your mouth and teleporting to rip them off. I do remember that conversation, yeah. I do remember that. It was like, so there was a lot of different parts to it. Like, why do their clothes teleport with them? Is it anything they're touching teleports with them? There was a lot of like questions we had about that. I need to set up a melee block sometime. Oh, I don't. Whoops. That was a panic. Oh, what? That group's already going? That was really, really bad. I didn't mean to drag them towards that direction. Mistakes were made. Why is it always the ice team that suffers? I gotta get a melee block set up for that stuff. Sorry about that, team. You're fine, though. Yeah. Side wonder on Goose. Goose, are you bleeding? Oh, God. You lost in a year, that's alright. Sorry, team, I let you down. Went up front, yeah, I know, that's why I panicked. I was like, well, that guy's coming at us too fast. And I berserked him even though there's no one around, so I didn't do anything. Mistakes were made. Another miner, constructor. Are you saving them, Gerbil? Save them, Gerbil. Alright, anyone else that's actually bleeding to death? Mio is good. Ice team. Ice team, where's Ice team? Oh, there's Ice team. Spire though, I know, but we need someone really badly. We'll just have to babysit them. Does it scare them off the pathing? So the reason I use fire sometimes against melee raids like that, I miss them, is it makes them panic. And so when they panic and they're in the open like that, they're not actively hitting anyone. So I was trying to catch them on fire, and then I had the misclick, and then the rest is history, as they say. Logan Cheese, the animal pack, their leader. Never seen an enemy death pop up in your alerts before. Yes, that was their leader. Fleeb. Fleeb was the leader. Awoken Cheese. Was his real name? What? Awoken Cheese, the animal pack. Oh, that's his title, yeah. Title of Awoken Cheese. Wait, is Mio bending Goose over to patch him up? The Awoken Cheese. This one is going to survive. Does that make them even angrier? They're already at maximum, yeah. Don't kink shame. They're only 15. Only 15. I'm actually okay with this burning, but... yeah. Alright, allow all the things. Alright, anyone that's still bleeding or no? No, we're good. Okay. Oh, isn't that little 8-ball? Yeah. That is interesting. I never really thought about it, but yeah. Combat supplier. Nice. Alright, so let's pump out some more research. Might as well. Probably won't make Penoxyl in this run, but we might. We might. Two more people I know. Yeah, I looked at them though. I didn't want to. I didn't want to capture them. Looks like we're about to come into a lot of human meat. I guess I'll just trade with you with someone that's not hurt. Who's our highest social outside of our elites here? Hermit Jordan. Oh, wait. Yep. Hermit Jordan, you speak for us now. Trade with that guy. Big hitter real quick. Plugging box. Bet. Story up, Pucko. Story happened with Yayo. Just born baby goat, beeline for the drug, and instantly died. For the beds over the sleeping spots. There's only 2 beds, and there's 3 or more than 2 prisoners is the reason. I want to buy more medicine while they're here. We probably should. Infection. Hopefully that's on a prisoner, not on us. I think we'll be fine either way, especially with Preach Health, you know. Preach Health is extremely good. Crazy good. I think I'm gonna smelt those ones. Who's got it? Robertson. It's pretty dirty in there, Robertson. It's not what I would call a very clean environment to be doing medical work on you. He's not a good trader now, too. You feeling bad, Cassandra? Feeling bad? Cassandra never feels bad. Don't kid yourself. Me? Who am I talking to? This is one of the ones that we do want to save, right? Sounding good ship. Okay. 96% tin quality. Nice. Nice. Jordan. Call these fine people. Let's go on. Diagonal, welcome back. Do you think Major gone down for the stream? We defeated a mech cluster that had like 6 centipedes and other stuff. We just had a triple pirate raid. So yeah, a little bit eventful here at the beginning. ABC, always buy components. Always. Always. There's gold, but I mean, we might get some. You know what? Let's just buy it. Let's just get it while it's offered to us. Kind of hate this research room right now. Don't sell anyone. All right, we'll fix that later. We'll just keep saying we'll fix everything later. Then eventually we might do it. Maybe. Time will tell. Man, I really need one of those miners. Can't believe this one is so bad right now, though. Sir, your life. Queen Bay, welcome in. How's it going, Queen? Welcome in. Mr. Blonde, are Winnipeg's talons actually good for anything? They're better than they used to be, but yeah, I usually don't use them. They still don't seem very great. Used to any kind of additional weapon thing, like the talons or the spikes or whatever, it would alternate between those and the other, and it would average your damage down. They fixed that, so no longer averages damage down. It's just like it procs every now and then and hits with it. I've never found them super good, but I mean, if you already have some godly melee pawn or something, maybe throwing that on there too will help. But all right, Ice Team, let's go ahead and grab that. And also I need a ritual again. Yeah, I do need to do that. But it should be easy to tame one when Ice Team's back up. Right now I'm trying to get healed back up before the next raid. Does satisfy the need for artificial parts, yeah. So I'm working all night. Glad to have some. Adam, yeah, welcome in, weight loss, yeah. How long was your shift? Change sleep schedule when they have sleep accelerators for like 2 hours? I don't know, yeah. I was wondering about that too. We're gonna need even less sleep with a sleep accelerator. Should be interesting to see because I've never really used them. We did a little bit of transhumanist stuff when this first came out, but never got to the point where we had like a big transhumanist base where everyone had sleep enhancers. Preferable traits for leaders and priests. Good social. Good social is really nice on them for speeches, conversion. Yeah, that's the main thing. Good social. Also, anything as far as like actual traits, anything that increases their mood, because the leader and moral guide are going to have 2 expectations higher. So for instance, when everyone else is at sky high expectations, which is 0 increase, they'll be at a -12. So getting something to offset that -12. So things like sanguine are even better for leaders and moral guides. Optimist, you know, anything that keep them happy. Cannibals eating meat. Any kind of bonus to mood is always good, but even better on your leadership. All right. 68% chance. Man, I really wish you had Word of Trust. Word of Trust. We just have not gotten it. Oh, they're addicted to alcohol too. Ugh. That sucks. High rolls on jobs that tend to be easy on mood, like research, cook, and craft. Yeah, that's another good one. Especially they have burning passion, so they get the mood buff from that. And you can put them in a good environment. Yeah, that's another good tip. It's good blade. Someone good social, in a relationship. Yeah, I guess word of love would be really good for them as well. Want neural supercharge? Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. Get some steel. Sure wish we had a good miner. That's what we're working on. 2 of those prisoners are really good at mining. If I Cannibal Colony, you think you're going all in on the next one? Just need to think of all visitors as food deliveries. Cannibal colonies, especially if they're actual cannibal trait, are so easy to keep happy. It's really crazy. Had a big request for all your herbal medicine. Be nice and give it to them. Right after that, Cassandra gave your only colonist the flu. Yeah, those feel like a trap. At best, a wealth dump. Noticed that too. Medical emergency. You're gonna be fine. Animal linking. Who else can get to tier 1? Hermit? No. Ninja Kiwi. Alright, Ninja Kiwi. Let's get it. Word of trust, Ninja Kiwi. For the mining. Request is colonist deliveries. They don't fight back when you arrest them. Yeah, they're not a member of any factions either. 40 medicine for these poor souls. Why do they even need all that medicine? Burden. Burden. We got into everything aside from word of trust. You fell for Cassandra's trap.
Maximum level reach.
I'll put that door elsewhere. Snowblind, tier 3. Snowblind, thank you for the continued support, man. I feel like I very much appreciate it, but I do feel kind of bad. How do I say this in a way where it doesn't sound like I'm meaning this negatively? I feel kind of bad when you resubscribe because I know you can't watch a lot anymore because my hours changed. You've been here forever though, and you've been supporting the stream for so long. I appreciate it. Wish you could watch more. Wish I could stream later. But thank you, Snowblind. Appreciate it. 31 months, man. Finally woke up. What's Sidecast burden? Did Cassandra lay a trap card down on the field? Yes. Seems so. I'm sure you know what I mean, yeah. Thank you. 31 months. Why, that's almost one entire calendar year. So close. We didn't cut up all that human. That's all right. Short to you. Honestly, don't mind keeping up the sport while you're able to. Thank you, man. You found our subs still around these days? I do. Yeah, I do have almost all of them. Yeah, we do have some founder subs still. I think I saw one of them earlier. I believe so. I think Stealth came in earlier. He was one of the first like 3 subscribers. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual disc things, your trap cards stuck in it. It's the meme here. It's almost 1 year. Pretty number of months. So a long time ago, years ago, I wasn't even really paying attention to it, but I had a lot of people resubscribe for like their 11th month or something. Right in a row in the same stream, or not right in a row, but during the same stream, a lot of people resubscribe for like their 11th month. And the stream after that, the same thing. A lot of those people that were the first subscribers all resubbed the 11 months around the same time. And so I was saying it over and over. And then it just became a thing where no matter what anyone was subscribing, no matter what number, it was almost one entire year. And so it just kind of stuck. And then when I stopped saying it, people were like, isn't that almost one entire year, Adam? Shift bids coming up. Yeah, you were talking about that yesterday. Might be changing to, don't know yet. Might be able to watch more or less soon. Do you have a preference on your work schedule? Like, if you could work any hours that you wanted, which shift would you pick? Moderate is one of the most OP beams. A relationship. Is Cassandra not going to hit us for the second time? 215. She's got 2 more days to hit us. Ancient Dangers is waiting on us. Just waiting on us. I don't care about human meat rotting, honestly. Also need to team a few horses. I'm kind of wanting to wait, though. Like, we scan those components, but I kind of want to wait until we see if we can get one of these miners. What were you? Yeah, they're pretty good, too. Not a miner, though. We have to fix their brain damage. Really sucks. Robertson has alcohol addiction and they're a pyro, which is also not great. But God, we need them. This would be so nice. Construction and mining. Burning passion. Alcohol withdrawal. I know. I know. Does council get rid of that? Surely not. He's not assimilated anyway, so we can't tell, but that would be interesting to see. What benefit is there for the drifter quests? The ones that are like begging for stuff, or the refugees? The refugees one, if they don't betray you, some of them might join you, and even if they don't, if you treat them well and they leave without betraying you, they will send you some items later on. Oh, this noob is converted. That noob's converted. The begging ones, yeah, it seems to not, unless you have precepts or, you know, an ideology that benefits from helping people. It just seems like a wealth dump at the moment. Or like people were talking about, you can just arrest them since they don't have a faction, they can't fight back. If they're awesome, just arrest them. The Raider Outpost. This is kind of interesting. Low shield pack, let's see. Owl's access to destroy the camp, which means eliminating all enemies and turrets. There's 11 pirates there. Yeah, probably not. Oh, hey, that's done. Screw penoxyllin. Fabrication, please. That's our next really big step. They look pretty good, too. Not a miner, though. Not that kind of miner. Gotta be careful. No, we still haven't had any rescue missions or ransom requests. So, well, actually, we know one of them has become an enemy. We can tell because they had a relationship, and when we hover over them, it says they are hostile, and they've become a member of that enemy group. The other ones, we don't know what's going on with them right now. We just recruited a noob. All right, who is this noob? Why, this is none other than Jack. The Triple J. First time being in one of the colonies. Welcome in. My condolences. What's your background? Turtle herder? Turtle herder is not a natural background. Turtle herder. I don't remember that background at all. Is that a relatively rare one? Turtle herder. At a young age, he was entrusted with the turtles. He bred them successfully. Too successfully. The massive turtle herds consumed every food source and destroyed the local ecosystem. Where's Davey for this one? Yeah. Born to settler folks, Jack's family had a beloved herd of turtles who protected them by absorbing shots of raiders. That's so good. They're on his pizza lover. Yeah, I've seen that one, yeah. Had a cat herder wander through a territory one time. That's a good background. It's funny. Slow and steady. What's he on? It's not welcome in. Slow moving wall of turtles just eating everything like an incredibly slow swarm of locusts. Oh yeah, our dog's side.
A new subscriber. Come, steal yourself.
Yeah, sure thing, King Loser.
We are building an army.
Stoveline, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Oh my lord, you've gotten to 200. It's a lot, man. Thank you for the 10 gift subs to Zon, Bulldog, Devin, Spoonie, Tar, Great Gub, Dread Knights, Ember, Sin, and the Italian Spoon. What? You got a Spoonie and an Italian Spoon? Nice shot. Thank you, Snowblind. Very much appreciated. Much love to Snowblind. So the EMP throwing area I have here so they can come in and throw an EMP here. The reason why is EMP grenades are thrown faster than EMP launchers. So they're able to throw more of the grenades so things get stunned more often. And they have a bigger radius when they actually hit. So I like throwing them from down here. It's a little dangerous though. So what I typically do is I equip the EMP and I kind of chill up here until any of the scythers have come through. Scythers are usually first in anyway though. And then I will put them down here. So I have this here, mainly this one, so that enemies don't try to take cover here to shoot at us. And the EMP thrower will be here. And what I usually like to do is have another person come down with either heavy SMG or chain shotgun and put them on the other side. The main reason for that is if the person with the EMP grenade gets down or catches on fire or something, we have someone here to save them, but also to pick up the EMP and continue. You gotta make sure you put a door over here, else raiders will go that way in the tunnel. But yeah, it's just a little cubby to throw EMPs at a good range for mechs, pretty much. Some spoon in action. Double spoon for the win. Let's go on Pineapple. Welcome in. Welcome in. Ember Shot Angels, welcome back. All right. So Flagfest. We don't know if Cassandra's going to hit us again. Just don't know. I'm going to go ahead and set these up. Yeah, I need to make more of those. I really hate doing it. I might just make some simple helmets, honestly, until we get to the next tier here. Just make 2 simple helmets. We're going to do Flak Vest. We're going to do until we have X. X is 152 or better. Or better. We'll leave those on there. Got a shield belt. I don't want anyone wearing that. Just recorded. Don't believe we had 2 spoons in the chat at the same time. Did we get the second Cassandra hit? No, and it's day 220, so this is the last day that she can hit us with a second one. She doesn't always do it. You can see that here and here, but more often than not, she does. Christ. Robertson, you have a shield belt on? Oh my god, he's just... Oh, right, she's basically brain dead. That's one of the ones that we really want to keep, too. Robertson, chill. No, 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 no. Who opened that door? Ninja. Ninja Kiwi. Watch him have friggin' brain damage, too, now. Please, no. No, okay. Almost killed him. I might take his legs and leave him in there until he's over his alcohol addiction. Good thing he had that shield. Because we really want him, but he's going to have so many breakdowns, and he might die. Oh, I'm going to take your legs, man. I'm sorry. Give him smoke leaf. Do we have any? I don't think we do. I could... So Word of Joy will actually put him in a coma for 5 days. The Legless Detox program. Yeah, we could just put him in a Joy Fuzz coma. Next time he's up, I think I'll do that. If we can keep him unconscious Maybe he gets to keep his legs. We'll see. We'll see. The legless detox program. So Yinli. Fathom, hide in your room. What's up, Fathom? Slept in the colds. We actually have the means to fix that these days. What do you know? What do you know? I don't think I ever traded with that one, the last ship that came by, actually. No. I got it. What's the ship? I got the telescope, yeah. And take legs in the base game, or do you install a peg leg and then remove it, yeah. Yep. It's lucky you have Pirates faction who have prohibited drug use. I haven't looked at the other ones in hours, actually. Let's take a look at that. Old ethics, just collectivist. Supremacist pain is virtue. Fleshism, flesh purity, tunneler, human primacy. We got the proselytizer and tree connection. Female supremacy, supremacist cannibal. Guilty cannibal ranchers. Nudism, darkness, nature primacy. Supremacist raider. Supremacist cannibal raider. Loyalist collective is the empire. Loyalist, alright. Flesh purity, can't take drugs. Can't take drugs. That's part of it. Did you get over your alcohol addiction? No, but at least I got these kegs. I mean pegs. Never mind. All right, let's see if this is enough to put him in a coma. Keg legs. It's not. It's not. Joy Fives is plus 30 though. It might be enough if we keep doing it every 5 days. It should be enough to make him not break down from the withdrawals, actually. Different kind of keg stance. So the reason I have decided not to open this now is we already got the gold elsewhere. We'll open those eventually. But right now, we're working on getting fabrication. We lost our main researcher, so I might want to go ahead and set one of these up. Like, what is Misfortune mainly doing otherwise? We have enough people on planting and whatnot. We're doing wardening. Let's go ahead and put research as next on them. Juliet definitely needs to keep doing what they're doing, so we'll have to leave that. Icing is actually pretty decent at it too. We'll put that on 4 in case they have nothing else to do. Fabrication is a big step. Once we get fabrication, we can make our own components, and then we can really start pushing here. As soon as we get a miner, we'll, which looks like it's going to be Robertson here. Then we'll start doing caravan and get resources too. How are we doing on the tree? It doesn't look like Cassandra's going to hit us again in this period, so we get a little breather. That's the first time Cassandra's only hit us. Oh, okay. Only a single time in quite a while. Masterwork flak vest. All right. I'll have to dry that out someday. Ancient Rune Times, I'm going to wait a little bit. I was mainly going to do it for the gold, but we already got gold otherwise, so. Also need to make some more tribals unhappy, which I might do. Probably do it when they're visitors, not when they're traders. Yeah, we will pop the caskets in the Age of Danger sometime, for sure. Just waiting a little bit longer now, so we've got the gold elsewhere. Gold! I like gold. This music really reminds me of Stardew Valley. This is super Stardew Valley adjacent music. I mean that in the best sort of way. That one will smelt though. Gold. Keep it. We'll keep it. Recently, Stardew Valley is a compliment in your book. Yeah, absolutely. I really love Stardew Valley. So good. Such a chill game. Kind of like Stardew Valley. You grow crops, build relationships, slaughter anyone who stands in your way. Some of that I don't remember, but yeah, you're right. Most of that sounds familiar. So we're up to 12 shooters. Where's the rest of our geothermals in this map? We got one here. One right there. One up there. That one near the edge is kind of not good. Yeah, they're pretty spread out. We have, like this one's still relatively close. This one's all right. We're gonna get broken sometimes from the breach raids, unfortunately, but oh, the in the mines starting. That's true, yeah. The poor mine inhabitants. Sorry, Orn. You know what? Let's do a leader speech. See if we can get some inspirations here. Maybe we'll get like a recruitment inspiration. Might recruit them even though they're not converted yet. And then we just use word of joy on them. In fact, we can just do the conversion ritual. Who is it? Robertson? Robertson Caruso, I presume. 76%. All right, let's do it. Lay him upon thy altar. Stare at his butt. What? Our altar must be backwards or something. Come on, Orn. You're ruining the conversion. What a jerk. Effective. Nice. Nice. Altar's not big enough for that absolute. That's the first time I used the small altar. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Well, Orn, when you're over your crap, do a leader speech. Small altar. Yeah, I've been using the large one. This time I figured I would use the small one for less materials. Altars take supposed to be long. Yeah, to build. The lectern takes forever. The lectern takes an ungodly amount of time, like compared to almost anything. Oh, it's gonna take me 4 days to make this lectern. Why? Why? Can't move it either. Yeah. The altar, yeah. Wood lecterns. What? But what if your leader gets splinters from the lectern? What if enemies burn it? It's sacred, Mr. Blonde. All right, animal linking. All right. Fathom. Word of trust. Word of trust. Word of trust. Word of trust. If you don't want to get more splinters, you better just convert. We've gotten everything but it. I don't think we have any more. Yep, we got tier 1 on everyone that can have it. Nowhere to trust. Yesterday I was, we were getting every single one I asked for. Today Cassandra says, nope, no thanks. Mech cluster. Climate adjuster, temperature -10. That was, look how spread out this one is compared to the other cluster this morning. That was so tightly condensed. There's a high shield down to 6.2. What do you got here? We got 2 capsules, centipede generator. It's gonna activate in just 9 hours. Just how Anima tree works with ideology. Remember, Anima tree had to be far from buildings. It never had to be far from buildings. It just got a reduction in psi focus gain. They did change it to also get a reduction in grass growing gain. The only thing is you couldn't build a roof over it, or else they cut it down. But you could always build buildings near it. It would just get a psi focus reduction, but it capped at -30%, which is still the case. It still caps at -30%. But now, as of 1.3, it also does -30% grass growth. 70 horses out there to take care of that for you. I know. I hate the Inferno cannons. They're the worst. 6.2 days, or we could call in some allies to try to take care of some of it. Do we have some stuff to re-ally? It would drop wealth too. No, Robertson. Robertson. Yeah, a lot of people thought that you couldn't build next to it, or that it would kill the tree. It's not the case. As long as you don't have a growing zone or a roof, you'll be fine. I think the -30% trade-off is worth it to protect the people meditating and to protect. See, told you. You wouldn't have to miss the sneezing. Should be here during the weekend. Bless you ×2. That's what my daughter said when she restarted school. It's like, don't worry, they'll still hear me sneezing on the weekend. They're educated. If only they knew that you can stop, drop, and roll. Saves so many lives. So many lives. That's the truth. Go on, filler name. Cab will go in. Your tree takes 30% longer. You are actually losing grass. Building away from it. Yeah, that's a good point too, yeah. So I'd much rather protect the people that are there and protect the tree from like beavers stuff. What's say for as your pawns are not sitting half a day, walk to the tree. Yeah. And you can offset it even further with like anima stones or large nature shrines if you really want. So I think it's really worth. It's gonna take 6 days for this to go down, and it's so spread out that I think we might just call in allies for this one. Actually, how long until? Let's wait. Let's wait. Five pikemen, 5 scythers, 6 lancers, 5, 5, 6, and then there will be 4 centipedes if we don't destroy that. I think it's fine. I don't want to call in allies for this. They will just die, especially with the fire. They will not win against this. Although we could call in the Empire. We did ally the Empire last stream. They have a little bit better chance against this. And if the Empire does enough damage that it pulls the mechs to us, then we would only have to worry about the centipedes. Stuck in the climate adjuster. Please help me. Alright. We'll call in. It's not like we can trade with the Empire anyway, so we might as well use them for support. See how many they actually send. And I wish this scaled as much as the friendly helper thing. Yeah, they're basically not gonna kill. They send 9 people. When you get the friendly roll for friendlies coming on their own, it's so massive compared to this. You only call in like 9 people, but if they come to help you on their own, it's like 90. I'm going Royal Towns. I haven't decided or not. Yeah, the call-ins are really nice though. Oh, these friggin' prisoners. It's weird seeing bullets miss after doing the darkness run. I figured it'd be hard to get used to normal accuracy again after that, but man. Man, oh man. Oh, goose. Goose, goose, goose. Our brave leader. Our neurotic leader. Is EMP Grenade better than EMP Launcher? Yeah, the only difference in the EMP Launcher is the main difference, or the trade-off, is that it has longer range. However, it takes longer to fire, and it has a shorter radius. So you get less of them off. There we go, social fight, good. Get less of them actually, you know, hitting on the enemy. Enemies come out of the stun more often, or if enemies are trickling in, you don't get them all stunned right away. And the AoE is less. Yeah, I think the miss tile or the miss radius is bigger too. Yeah, I'm not sure what the numbers are, but on the grenade it's only a 1 miss tile radius, so you'll pretty much hit where you're wanting to hit. Not the case with the EMP launcher. So definitely prefer the EMP grenade overall. Sometimes obviously the EMP launcher is what you want to use when you can't close in that gap safely, but in a kill tunnel setup, the grenades, yeah, overall are better. Yeah, that's the downside. The grenades make you uncomfortably close to death. Yeah. Which one were you? Yeah, you're pretty decent too, so. Alright, so we are going to get a centipede every now and then. In 0.1 days, what do we say to the god of death? Later. See you later. What can you... Please today? God. You doing alright? Doing alright? Come talk to me. Uwu. Oh, no, no. No Uwu's here. As well as line of sight turrets and take out the adjuster. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking to get here. Because when we destroy this, this is going to be able to hit us, but we should be able to get there and do it. In fact, we'll be able to take that out. We're going to have to do this first centipede, and then we'll be good. $250 fine for the Uwu. I didn't put the EMP grenade back on the shelf because the shelf didn't allow him to store his pistol there to swap. I'd let him store his pistol there to swap. The shelf likely would, or weapons in it, not the EMP grenade. Yeah, the only downside of that is if you leave it like that, sometimes it gets full of that stuff, you know, the other things. I need to just put that in the cordless route. In the correct zone, and I can make them do it. We're kind of lining up too early, but oh well. No pause, better safe than sorry, so on and so forth. Come on, centipede. That should be a channel point thing. An Uwu tax. Let's go on, pretentious. Welcome in. Crap, I threw it just barely too soon.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
All right. Let's go. Oh no, the hentai clip. How's it going, stuff? Someone was asking about the OG subs that have the first badge earlier. There's one. How's it going, stuff? Those poppers give off always makes you so nervous. It's like, oh god, where's the explosion? Yeah. Driver's license. Just resubbed. Thank you, pretentious. It will pop up if you refresh the stream, but even if you don't, thank you either way. I'll thank you again when it pops up. Are we winning? Yeah, today's been pretty good so far. So far. Some reward, make you mute everyone. He says, ooh, make it 10,000 for one. That's a good idea. No fun allowed. Which button is that? Is it this button? Wayne, please let it be this button. Oh, what?
No fun allowed. Your steadfast
That's the right button.
is greatly appreciated.
Pitches, thank you for the resub. Thank you for using the Twitch Prime here again. I appreciate it, Pitches. Thanks for streaming, being awesome. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate the support. I actually hit the right button. That's like the first time ever that I've used the right button for that. Here it goes again.
No fun allowed.
Nice. Nice. We're gonna leave those there. Screw those things. Someone else take care of those. The real downside is that there's one component. Like, do I want that chain shotgun? I kind of do. Misfortune has skip, right? Hey, Misfortune. Starvation. Just eat food. But you had me out in the field. Nurse colony. Oh god. Oh god, Queen. Why? You saw the global warming problem or something. Let's see. Yeah, they got skip. Chain shotguns are really good, and I was just talking about how I like having a chain shotgun right behind where the EMP guy is. There's one. There it is. Skip an item? I thought you could skip an item, can't you? Yeah. There. Hey. Hey. One faked me out here. Got you baited again. Happened a lot lately. There we go. Yeah, skip. That's why skip is so good. It's so versatile. You can skip. You can skip allies. You can skip enemies. You can skip items. You can skip IEDs or shells into places. Like, what about the component? I don't know that I'm gonna use. My worry is if we use too much side focus. Skip doesn't take a lot though. That we might be in trouble if we have another Cassandra raid right after this. Can't use Berserk Pulse. Down to allies. Yeah, skip is really good. It's very versatile. See what I need? That sounds good. That sounds like fun. You couldn't skip water. I don't remember who all can do plants. Sensuko? Can you skip things that are about to explode? I don't know. That's a good question. I've never tried that. That'd be tough on no pause, but I bet you could. Skip power cells into enemies, yeah. I bet you could. Where was that sprout I was dealing with? All right. TP's on it. Let's go on Gerbil. Welcome in. Skip Setsuko into the lunch the lunch table. What? What? You just dropped it right out? Oh, come on. Just grab that. Not my job. If you wanted me to bring that in, you should have told me I could go there. Not my job, guy. All right, let's unsuspend these again. Get those outer layers done. Can you skip? Oh yeah. Are you remembering a might play through? Yeah, I don't know if you, I don't know if you can skip it. I bet you can skip exploding things, but it would just be really tough. Really tough to do. Where'd you guys drop that C? There it is. One. Can't be super close to the other one, huh? Yeah, so that's what's going on there. That seems good. I think I'm gonna put it here though, actually. Because I put it here, the little helpers will go put out fire while we're fighting. That'd be kind of nice. Yeah, the existing tree, it can't be that close to one, yeah. I'm thinking about putting it here instead. Because then the little dryads put out fire at the kill tunnel. That seems pretty nice. They might draw some fire from enemies also. They might attack prisoners that come out. Alright. Seems good. More on the tree. I got you. I got you. On that upper side. Okay. I still think I'm going to put it here, but that's good to know. I would need to cut these to put it in that corner. Get them to attack you. Yeah, we actually had some of them attacking enemies up there previously. They actually just berserk though, right? So they might berserk when the enemy hits it and actually attack us. Maybe that's not worth them putting out the fire, risking that. Yeah, we'll just make this prettier instead. Nice having put out the fire, but we got fire foam poppers, we're alright. So it's 1 over and 2 down from that. 1 over, 2 down. There we go. Nice. Beautiful. That when you click on a person that needs treatment, it shows who is treating them, if there is someone. It usually shows the base game, right? That reserved by so-and-so. Like if you right-click. I know that is in the base game, but I don't know if it also applies for the tending part of it. Layers. Layers and layers and layers. Prune a good thing now? I'm not sure, yeah. Gorlins are kind of bad, but it might be. Rat sitting. Ajax is sick with blood rot. So just a rat with blood rot? Well, violence. Man, oh man, look at that. Industrious planting. 17, 74 years old though. Frail, bad back. No, I'm not gonna do it. Too bad, the pawn was almost good. He was almost really good. How's Robertson doing? Wish he could get over his alcoholism faster. I haven't even decided if we're taking this one. Probably should though. And this one, she's really good aside from her brain problems. Really sucks. She got brain damage. I mean, we can heal that in the biosculptor though. She could be the first one in a biosculptor. Everyone else is gonna want one after that, but alright. Alright, 64. Mysterium take start healing things. A season. So basically 15 days. 38-year-old colonist with heart and eye issues alongside frail. 80+ days. She still has all issues. What? Yeah, that's really weird. That's either buggy or you're just very unlucky. But on average, it heals about every 15 days or so. The cooldown is 15 days, but it's not like exactly on 15, I don't think. 80 days. Yeah, if it hasn't healed anything in 80 days, something's going on there. I feel. Let's make 20 biosculptors. Yeah, eventually we're gonna have to. Yeah. Eventually. An eclipse. It's always weird why that one has such a huge, like, alerts. It's like, oh god, there's an eclipse. A little scary getting that steel, but we need it. We need it. Get past the early raids. Misty Lycee. Cassandra's really brutal early on in 500% for sure. We actually almost lost. We lost 2 people. Well, we got 2 people kidnapped. The third one almost got kidnapped. They were literally 1 tile from being kidnapped off the map. But yeah, we've recovered from it just over time. We stayed on small wealth, try to get ahead. We got to SMGs. That was the major thing. As soon as we got to SMGs, things got so much easier. SMGs and flak. So, by the skin of our teeth. That's right. Find someone younger to give their stuff to. They have an accident, so. You think it's rare to save space to use hydroponics even though you have your round growing season? Hydroponics are very efficient. It only takes 7 hydroponic plots if they're harvested constantly to feed 1 colonist forever. So basically, let's just say 2 basins. 2 basins currently are going, will feed someone forever. So they're very space efficient and very efficient as far as like events don't really bother them too much. Obviously, the solar flare and stuff like that will if your power goes out. The only downside with them is all the wealth that they take. So the steel and components, the power, the wealth that you're going to have of having extra power places outputting. If you're not worried about the late game wealth and you feel like you're going to have enough power, then hydroponics are very, very space efficient for what they produce. They're really good. Yeah, if you want to overmake, then 3 basins per colonist will feed them with excess for crazy downtimes, and you can use extra for animals and chem fuel and stuff like that. But it's crazy how good they are with rice. Rice has 100% fertility sensitivity, and hydroponic basins are 280% fertility. So rice grows so fast. Even if you don't use sun lamps, yeah. So they will do really well even without sun lamps. If you have some kind of event where you need to put a sun lamp, then obviously you can just do that. What I like to do is have the sun lamps there, have the roof off, and then if some event happens like toxic fallout, then I just roof it and turn on the sun lamps. So yeah, they're really good whether you use natural sunlight or sun lamps. Yeah, sun lamps take a lot of power, 2,900, but they only use it during the day. So if you have some batteries going, it'll alleviate that at least somewhat. In case of other events, yeah. And drop hay entirely for ranching. The rice income can feed so many more animals. It's crazy how good hydroponic rice is. It's done so fast. What is it, like 2 days or something? You get a harvest every 2 days. It's like 2.1 days or something. Let's go on Pug Army. Welcome in. Solar farm. Yeah, that's true. So when the lights are on, the solar takes care of it. As long as you're not an event. So for the game, just food takes a lot of room. Yeah, exactly. So it's very space efficient. So if you want to set one up for eventually having a sun lamp, then 11 by 11 interior, so 13 by 13 wall, will be able to fit the sun lamp, 24 basins, like a couple pieces of art, and a heater or whatever in case you ever need to close it in. You don't want the area to be ugly or something. So this area will fit in a hydroponic basin setup with 24 basins, the maximum, just fine. And like I said, super space efficient. How are we doing on steel? I might give them a break. All right. Biofuel refining, 4 basins of rice, 5 fuel generators plus batteries, fuel 24 hydroponics, around 1 sun lamp. Yeah, you don't even need 5 with the batteries. Yeah, if you have enough batteries. I think we did it in the 20-year run. It was like 3 chem fuel generators and 2 batteries or something. Was keeping 24 going forever with excess. Yeah, it's crazy good. Oh, Mio, you don't have a... That's right, we stopped putting on the extra parts. My bad. Mio, are you a social pawn at all? No. Baby Dryad, yeah. baby dry hands. You said the rice to get chem fuel? Yeah, I usually do, yeah. Can you post a link? Yeah, Iceman. Yeah, you've been here long enough. It should allow you to post a link. An imager of Hydra. Everyone needs it. Found out that skull spikes block windmills. Really? Yeah, it's interesting. I thought they, well, I guess it makes sense. They're probably about the same profile as a. They are the same profile as chunks. They have 50% cover effectiveness. Interesting. 98 hit points. Silence count as body mods. They do not. Not anymore. Royalty first came out, they did. Gravel, the 42 spots, the tour base and stuff can be used to grow passive fiber corn or flowers. Beauty buff. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. If you're a tunneler, yeah. Pokemon Unite, pay to win. I have no idea. My daughter's been playing a lot, but she hasn't spent any money on it. Those jade fences, yes, for beauty. Although I am going to change this in a little while. Threat pods. Are you amazing? Mining. Underground miner and kind. Plants 83 years old. Come on. Wow, a guy is nice. 3 archers we placed among us. What do you got here? 1 mech capsule, 1 assembler, 1 drop beacon, high-low shield, 1 auto mortar. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Not the auto mortar, I might take that. Alright. Let's get Mio tier 5 here. Oh no. Oh, I think I know why that happened. Crap. I did them too far, like back to back. Jack actually probably had, yeah, look at that. 50% manipulation. Whoops. Sorry, Ninja Kiwi. Ooh, space chunks. Space chunks. Just 1. Christ. They have a cut eye. We're so glad we get some bionics. They were already missing an ear, yeah. That was from before. Crack their skull though. Good lord. Let's go slower here. Faction. There you go. You're getting healed up real fast. Can bionics get damaged again? Yeah, they can. It's kind of weird when you see it though, because it'll be like cracked bionics, cracked bionic arm, scratched bionic leg, whatever. Yeah, they can get damaged, but you just nurse them back to health somehow. What? Oh no, I didn't notice that at all. She was naked. Well, remember that one with the brain damage that we're like, it's too bad they have brain damage. Well, we don't have to worry about her anymore. So now it's Robertson that we really need to get. Shoots nudes. Sorry. They don't need a medic, they need a mechanic. Whoops. Pain from the bionic crack. Let's go on cam. We'll go in porch. How much maintenance should you expect from those orange trees? Can your planters grow food and cloth your colony while tending to the druid things? It depends. So what you can do is when you have the tree and someone's linked to it, there'll be a meter down here, kind of like the same meter on the Psi Focus gain. And there'll be these little notches on it. And each of those notches, you need that much pruning with a tree to get an extra dryad. And the more of them, the further this is, the longer it'll take them to do the pruning. So to just have one dryad off a tree, it's pretty easy. It doesn't take that long. So if you just want like one. On the flip side of that, if you want them to get 4 dryads from a tree, they're going to be pruning the tree for a very long time. They did add something into the game that helps though. There is a pruning speed tooltip here, so you can see who's best at it. Right now, it seems like it only scales off plants, so I guess you could just go by plants. It doesn't appear that global work speed or anything like that impacts it. But yeah, long story short, make sure you adjust the tree, the little meter on the tree when you get there. This little meter, it'll look similar, and you can dictate how long they'll prune it each day. Also, pruning is considered a plant cutting. So if they have a lot of stuff to do, make sure plant cutting is one of their priorities or higher up on their priority list. It's not considered growing, it is plant cutting. Yes, that makes sense. So if you have like lots of stuff to grow and you have growing and planting on the same priority, they will go grow stuff first, and the tree might slip down below that next threshold and kill the current dryad. Field hands don't seem to help either. Yeah, I haven't tested it, but someone in chat said they tested dual field hands and didn't do any increase at all. Oh yeah, the tree lovers have faster pruning. So if you are doing the plant specialist works as well for it too. Yeah, so plant specialist, tree lovers. Well, I mean the actual specialist and the meme. Trees are really nice to the blind meme. You do extend this side out sometime. Pruning work type under plant cutting, which is really nice. Yeah, work tab mod is really nice like that. So for anyone that hasn't had it, if you do the work tab mod, there will be a button to extend these further, and you can prioritize different types. So in the base game, each work type actually has a hierarchy built in that doesn't show you. For example, research. There are multiple research jobs in the game now, but research bench takes priority. So what that means is, like, we have the scanner here. The scanner is a research job, but if we only have 2 researchers and we have a research project and we have these 2 benches, they will never scan at the mineral scanner because they're always going to be here. So there is a hierarchy. They all have them. And so work tab breaks that down so you can dictate the different hierarchies between them, which is pretty cool. Guide that explains how Wells Independent mode works in terms of how fast it scales, how based on threat scale. Not a guide, but the way to understand it, it is balanced on that time frame for 100% difficulty. So when you have, for instance, 12 year, if you're doing a Wealth Independent 12 year, what that means is if you're playing at 100% difficulty, it will take 12 years for raid threat to max, which is 10,000 raid points. Maximum raid size at 12 years if you're playing on difficulty with 100% threat scaling. If you change the threat scaling, then it alters that to either more or less years. So for instance, if you're playing on 12-year Wealth Independent and you're doing 500% threat, you get max raids at 2.4 years. So you can just do the math between what percentage you want, but if you're wanting to actually scale with that time period that it shows, you have to set it to 100% threat scaling. Any reason for choosing end tables instead of large sculptures? End tables increase comforts, and since we're getting comfort twice a day, and that's our only averaging up of comfort, I have them in there for comfort and not beauty. Sculptures add a lot of wealth and are beauty. Yeah, no problem. Use slaves scans so they can't research. That's interesting. So wait, slaves are allowed to do other research jobs other than the actual research? I didn't think they would be able to do those. Yeah, no problem. Bionics actually have less health than normal body parts. That's interesting. I never noticed that either. reason behind 13 by 13 rooms. Yeah, I don't remember if I put a clip of it, so I'll do it again. Why no dressers? I just haven't added them yet. Yeah, one dresser can hit almost infinite beds, so I will add one, but not yet. I'm gonna be redoing that room with sleep enhancers soon. So the reason I do 13 by 13 rooms, aside from the fact that it holds up the roof at that level, 13 by 13 uneven rooms are very easily divided. Yeah, I need to get that clip. So they're very easily divisible. So what you can do is you can have a 13 by 13 room with 11 by 11 interior. You can have a door in the center, or you can divide these into two different 7 by 13 exteriors. You can divide them into like smaller rooms like this very evenly. Those can be large bedrooms or little workstations. You can even do smaller bedrooms if you want, like this. So it's just the fact that they're so modular, and you can, you know, or any variation of this too. They're so modular, and you break them down because of them being uneven. The insides are evenly divisible that way. And so you can have like this room over here, 3 small bedrooms. It's just really convenient, and it holds up the roof without any columns or anything. So 13 by X will never need a roof. So you can go 13 by whatever, and then you can divide those evenly throughout. ARAM, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you, ARAM. 23 already. Thank you, ARAM. To Sit for their 2nd month. Welcome back, Sit. Thank you, ARAM. Slaves can scan. That is pretty interesting. I just figured they wouldn't be able to. They just can't actually research technology. That's interesting. Bionics have sub parts like fingers. Someone with a regular arm takes a charge shot to the finger. They just lose the finger. With a bionic arm, they lose the arm. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, it makes sense. I just never really thought about it. Think about diamond-shaped rooms, so the higher room space to wall ratio. I've seen those used a lot, and if you are not opposed to doing the melee corner punch cheese, then those seem even better. For me, I just don't like how they look, because that's the main reason. It's also why people with bionic legs can't wear modded boots. They got no feet. For anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about the corner punch cheese, I don't use it. It's very exploitive, but I mean, whatever you want to do, I don't care. It's a single player game. If you have a corner like this, and you have a door on this side, and you hold that door open, your characters and animals can attack through that corner without the enemy being able to attack back. So you can put a really good melee pawn right here, and as enemies walk through that, they will get meleeed by anyone there. So obviously, it's not going to work against a lot of raids, but if you are funneling in a normal raid and you want to go super cheesy, you can have stuff like this set up, and that's a wall. You have your melee or attacking animals here, and as the raiders walk through here, your people will just punch or attack with their melee weapon or whatever through the wall, being able to kill them or down them. I don't use that one, but I don't care if anyone uses it. Whatever you want to do. Feel bad for opponents. 1065 to 208. Those poor 10-year-olds. It's really dumb. I can't believe it's not been fixed. Yeah, there must be something pretty deep coded with that would screw up other things too much. That's been in the game for a super long time. That's super cheese. Slave ship. Hey, that's only our 2nd slave ship ever in this run. It's interesting how many more slave ships we get against Randy. All right, what do we got here? Mining construction. Greedy kind of sucks at this point. 69 years old. Not nice. Not nice this time. Mining. True happy. Nice. Cycling depth. Undergrounder. 33. Oh my goodness. Kane joins as colonist. Oh, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. Aha! Support the Jeffersons. Alright. Jefferson, welcome in. Oh, minor. Minor. At long last, Jefferson. Alright, who we got here? Who is this? This is Patches. Welcome in, Patches. First time in a colony, I do believe. All right. Thank goodness. It's your background, Patches. Not natural. It's alright, though. It's alright. We got some other not natural people you can hang out with. It's alright. Everybody's calling us Q now. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't checked. I need to. When you buy slaves that are colonists or slaves, it will tell you. In the pane next to it, it'll tell you if they're going to join as a colonist or a slave. There was some of each in there. Oh, that's so nice. Finally. So wait, what are your ideology needs? It's not too bad, actually. -6 right now, and we'll convert them, obviously. 11 days on the ritual. Finally, now we can send them off. Everyone's you. Why no one was hauling corpses to your corpse pile? Was that too awful to poor quality? I guess corpses are considered normal quality? Legendary corpses only, yeah. Waiting for the clip explaining the cold kill box you have below your base. I don't have one for that, but so the reason why you do, or I do this, is line of sight issues. Line of sight and range. So at around 13 to 15 tiles, people will no longer be able to shoot down it in a... So if you have like a really long one, let's say you have a really long kill setup, a lot of these people will lose line of sight because of the walls as enemies run in here. Likewise, if you have just a second line, a lot of these people will lose line of sight to enemies as they run in. So making this loop around, and eventually you can keep going, right? You can just keep going like this. All the people that you set up here will have line of sight no matter where enemies are in the kill box. And they all have good accuracy at range to where they come in. So eventually this kill box could be even like this, right? So, and this little setup here is the cubby to throw EMPs at mechs. Yeah, I don't have a guide or anything for it. I should do that, but I'm so behind on making those. So many to do. But yeah, again, I've been saying that a lot lately, but long story short, it's so that everyone has a line of sight and good accuracy at the range of weapons we're using, heavy SMGs, to hit enemies as they come in. Enemies will go through this as long as they are not breachers or sappers, because it's the only uninterrupted opening into our base, yeah. So that's big bunker room compared to individual rooms. It's extremely strong. Barracks are kind of OP in a lot of ways, because you can combine them with dining and recreation. So it doesn't look like it, but this room right here is giving us something like a plus 18 mood boost twice a day. And we can make that even higher. Speaking of, that's going to be one of my next projects. Learn something. How viable are river or shore tiles as water power? So if you use a mod for more bridges, what sucks is better bridges used to be in the game. They removed them. So if you use a mod for steel and stone bridges, it becomes much more viable. However, you can still set up hydropower in moving water pretty easily, even with wood, as long as you surround it in wood, and then you surround the wood in roofing to about 3 or 4 tiles out, so you don't have to go out there and put out fires. Enemies will ignore them, kind of like how they ignore these geothermals surrounded, as long as there's a way into your base. So yeah, hydropower is good. They're like a miniature geothermal. So maps with normal size or large rivers can be really good for power. Now with the breachers, occasionally I'll have to go out and repair that as well. But normal raids will leave them alone. So it's good. As far as tiles for like your defense and stuff, setting up a kill tunnel around water if you have a really good setup is nice, because it slows enemies down, they get wet, so they're a little bit more unhappy, although it's hard to break them. The other thing about water and mud that a lot of people don't know with melee, if you have a pawn standing on mud, water, or sand, occasionally their melee roll will be to kick that item into the enemy's face. It's really crazy, but if you go into the enemy's health and you see it, it reduces their sight by quite a bit for a second or two. And sight is really important with melee and shooting. So if you can set your pocket sand, yeah. You can set up like when you're doing melee blocks to have your people be standing in dirt or mud, but the enemy not as they come in for melee blocks. That will give you a little bit of advantage as well. So I mean, there are uses for standing water and stuff too in kill box setups, and specifically in those scenarios where you're fighting all melee and you're doing a melee block. Remember, the river just went through a mountain, so you just set up like 10 generators alongside a bunch of coolers, freeze it, so bugs wouldn't spawn. We need an extra bed now, right? Patches needs a bed. And Kiwi, finally up. Sorry about that eye. Sorry about that. Whoops, no. It's your fault that I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, Patch, sleep on the floor. Dirty. Alright. So we're actually going to make a new altar. And I'll explain this in a little bit. We're actually going to end up making 2 additional altars and destroying this one. I wonder how small a room can be. Oh man, we've already gone 2.5 hours. Yeah, let me split this recording for YouTube and then I'll talk about this. So.